So here we are back at the helm. Well, not really. Of the Pentium D system. As you saw in my last video, I took it apart. That would include the power supply. Don't know why the power button is so flaky, but well, whatever. But I don't know what I did, but it works perfectly fine now. I had it running for 2 hours that night that I fixed it, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it anymore. I don't know. So this is not really a great repair because I don't know what I did. But I know I took the power supply out. I cleaned the power supply, and there was a lot of dirt and grime in the power supply. I did a basic blowout of blowing all the dust off of it. I didn't really use an air compressor or do anything that I was supposed to. But it works. That's all that matters to me. I took the RAM out, I took the hard drives out, and I found out that the TrendNet wireless card was halfway out of its socket. And there's that. Oh, the monitor's unplugged. Real nice. That's probably why I don't have a display signal. Hopefully this is the right... Yes, it is. There we go. Now that's a whole lot better. This is some cheap, crappy Acer monitor that has stuck pixels on it, or I thought it did. No, it appears to be fine. Just a whole lot of dust. Are there really no stuck pixels on this thing? There was when I first tried it, so what the hell? I'm pretty positive there was a stuck... Anyway, doesn't matter. You can see it works fine. And now we will log in. There are people's names there. My name. The wonderful sound coming from the onboard. Oh, what the hell does this thing have? Oh yeah, I kind of hacked myself into the administrator account because I just wanted to do it. I'll never use this computer, so it's just there. It runs important stuff, so when it stops running important stuff, then I'll probably take it back, but it has AVG antivirus on it, which is the world's worst antivirus. I hate AVG, it sucks. It doesn't work. It's like... If you could compare it to McAfee, actually that's kind of rude because it's not as bad as McAfee, but it's up there. Or should I say down there. Computer, what the hell? What did I want to show you? Oh yeah, the device manager. What is the audio? I wanted to know what the audio was. We have a whole bunch of USB serial, universal serial bus controllers. Those are totally useless to me. I want to know... Network adapters. It does have a Marvell Ethernet controller on board. And that's just some generic... It's a TrendNet card, but it's some generic piece of junk that we got along with our TrendNet router, and we just threw it in here. IDE drives, keyboards. I want to know what the sound is. Oh, it's just some SoundMax piece of junk. Okay, that makes sense. It's a cheap computer, so... It is an Asus board, so that makes sense. What did I want? I wanted something. I don't remember what it was. Oh, yeah. But yeah, like I said, I don't know what I did. Maybe it was a connector that was loose on the motherboard. Maybe it was the RAM, for all I know. It could also have possibly been the wireless card that had come unseated. It is going to need a new fan, because the fan's kind of not that great anymore. So runs Windows XP. I believe it's running Service Pack 3. At least I hope it's running Service Pack 3. It is running Service Pack 3. It has a 2.8 GHz Pentium D, which I believe is a 64-bit CPU. And 1.5 gigabytes of RAM in terms of hard drives and things. It's that the motherboard, by the way, is an Asus P5PE VM generic, well not generic, but just a board that we bought back in 2006 or something like that. The hard drives are not original. Well, one of them is. The other one was an afterthought. Originally, this had my 1.6 gigabyte Western Digital Caviar in it, and then we bought a new 80 gigabyte. Did I say megabyte? I meant gigabyte. 80 80GB Western Digital Caviar 2nd edition. That's what both of these are. I think they're both 2nd edition Caviar 80. I know they're both 80GB Western Digital Caviar drives, but they're both IDE. So this board supports SATA, and it actually has SATA cable in the box. And this power supply supports SATA, so if you really wanted to upgrade, you could do that. It can run Windows Vista, and that's actually what we bought the video card for. So it could get better graphics under Windows Vista, so you could use the Windows Vista Aero. And these days, the card is total junk because it's not supported by anything. Windows 7 doesn't support it, and Windows Vista barely supports it. It gave you a marginal increase. You could run Aero graphics, but it still wasn't that great. The drive, oops, wrong computer. The drive is, doesn't say the speed. I believe it's a 52X, 32X, 52X, just like that drive is, but it's a newer revision of the same drive, and it's black to match the rest of the case. This is an XQ pack case, or at least that's what the box says. It's one of these cube form factor cases. I believe it's micro ATX. Yeah, I believe it's micro ATX. That's it. Doesn't support BTX, which is actually, I believe that's some proprietary Dell format. This fan moves a lot of air for being a cheap, crappy Apevia fan that's original to the case. That fan sucked when it was new, and it sucks now, but it actually moves quite a bit of air. More air than the power supply, that's for sure. This power supply probably has one of those cheap fan controllers that doesn't do anything at all. That basically runs the fan in nothing mode all the time, and when the power supply gets blazingly hot, it speeds it up just a little bit. But as you just saw, it works, and there's nothing wrong with it, per se, anyway. Let's go into BIOS here. There's an F8. I think it's delete. It's definitely delete. It would help if I had the damn monitor plugged in, because this is now like about a week later. Did it go to BIOS, or did it? Oh, it wants the BIOS password. That, by the way, is the washing machine, or is it the dryer? That's the washing machine. I have to put foam in between it to separate it so it doesn't vibrate the hell out of the house. Or vibrate each other, so it's just how things go. Kind of hear it. That's the new vent, which vents this stuff out. Oh, sorry, no, that's not what it is. It's this. Turn that off. Get out of here. We'll take a look at our system settings. Now check this out. This is a system from probably about 2006. And it still supports 5¼ inch floppy disk drives. There is no floppy drive installed. Well, there is one. The ribbon cable's there, but the drive's unplugged, so it's totally useless. And IDE configuration. Enhanced mode. It has a timeout, system info. It's running an AMI BIOS. Alright, okay. Cool. Hardware prefetcher, internal thermal control. Get out of here. Have some chipset stuff. Don't change any of that. That's a bad idea. Onboard devices. Onboard LAN is Pixie booting is disabled. Wow. PCI plug and play, which should be on. Okay. So that's the correct setting for all of that. change all that if we really wanted to, but we don't. And everything appears to be perfect. APM, automated power management, or some other stuff. Yes, this is power management for the system, which is still in the BIOS, for whatever reason. And oh, by the way, just a word of wisdom to the peanut gallery. No comments on the choice of operating system, please. It's just an operating system. It may not be your favorite, but it runs because it runs the software that we need this computer to run. And that's that. So I would appreciate you don't complain. Thank you.